Greetings, humanity. We are here once again, doing more Torment. More Torment. As much Torment as possible. I cannot remember. Yeah, we actually left off at a very precarious place last time. Kind of precarious. I just agreed to something that I wasn't entirely sure I should have agreed to. Story of my life lately, but let's check it out. You can use certain items and abilities even during conversations when interacting with objects. Use this mind when you need a little extra boost to succeed at a task. It's good to know I'm still capable of reading. Okay. Oh God, where are we? I don't know if I'm going to get used to the new technology that I am currently employing. See, there's only part of a hand here. It's like it's just trying desperately to claw toward me. Anyway. Okay, enough of that. I'll play with that more later. This does amuse me, somewhat. I'm gonna try to stick to the lower right since that's kind of more where I need to, I think, be for the most part. We'll see how things go. Occasionally, I may open menus behind my head, but we'll see what happens. Still getting used to the new toy, but we'll see. Okay. What am I doing? Why am I here? What's my purpose in life? Current purpose. Okay, we gotta do stuff involving this and then talk to him again, which we have to retrieve from our consciousness. Don't know if they have to be a companion for that to work. They might have to be. Find the first Castoff's tomb. I've arrived in the Valley of Dead Heroes. Now I need to locate the first Castoff's tomb. The passage to Mila Vest is supposedly inside the tomb. There we go. Okay. So apparently that's what we're doing, and I've just agreed to... And it did not trigger a quest of any kind, but I just agreed with these cultists that I would try to find somebody that's doing weird crap. So I didn't really understand what they were saying too terribly, but we're going to figure it out. Wooden slots of incompetent machine parts create makeshift cargo pads. Though still functioning, they look like they've been cast aside and neglected. Okay. There's a bunch of stuff around here. And things to loot. These mooring posts are to keep ships from drifting off, or at least they were back when ships used to stop here. Understandable. How are we all doing? Is everyone doing alright? We've got these freaking cultists here. We have rivers of lava. That's nice. It's always good to have rivers of lava. Foul-smelling liquid pours out of these spouts to the rest of the valley far below. Its mist feels cool in the bright sun. Okay. Faint humming emanates from these two statues. That'll be interesting. I have no idea what we're going to find here. Okay. Well, let's start by just kind of wandering around here and touching things and messing things up, like in any adventure game.
Ready.
Let's start looting. Money! Good, excellent.
Yes.
Yes. You pull the planks back, a crawl space extends behind them with two small alcoves recessing the walls. They are remnants of grave markers and memorials from ancient times. One seems shallow, the other has been blocked by rubble falling from above. Okay, so not too much back there then. Both of them appear to have been built to hold bodies, but neither are occupied. Yet, you can see disturbance in the dust of the crawl space. Someone came by this way, at least. Perhaps they're still here. Alright, how are we doing? We're at 35% if I do it. Let's see. 30. 25. How about you? You notice nothing. Okay, I guess it's me. Alright. I can get up to 75, which isn't terrible. We'll see how that goes. Yay! Ah! What was that? You appear deep into the gloom. The dust has been more than disturbed. You see footprints. After a few minutes, your diligence is rewarded. There's a third alcove at the back of the crawl space, hidden behind, I don't know words anymore, hidden behind a great stone slab. The slab is held up by a stone the size of a human head, creating a small gap hardly half a meter high. You crouch down and peer through the gap. Two people are hiding in the space behind it. One of them, a bearded man with a kind expression, whispers to you, "Old friend, if friend you be, my name is Beltrax. This is Ronos Kaisul. Those damn cultists gave chase to us. Ronos knew of this small sepulchre in which we have hidden, but we have nowhere left to run. They will murder us if you reveal our position." Friend or foe, they think either way. Ronus shall not sacrifice himself for me. Wonder where Ronus is. Please, says Ronus. Beltrax is but a visitor to this place. He has no part in our struggle with the children. Tell them that we have fled and that you couldn't find us. Come on out, I'm taking you to Klinkar. Cover your tracks, I'll deal with the cultists, remove the stone, and trap them in the sepulchre forever. Yes, that's a much better fate than that. Cover your tracks. You have our gratitude. Good luck, friend. They watch you leave. Gold tide. Dang it. I want blue tide more than anything else.
All right.
Anything over here? Move the plank aside and get nothing more than a splinter for your trouble. The unmarked cliff wall is all that you see. I didn't bring the person who is good at convincing people of things, unfortunately. I got XP for looking at that. Peering behind the sheetrock, you see only a faint etching in the stone, almost worn away by the passage of years. It reads, "Sanity slipping, the tombs will hold my salvation." Oh, that's the hint for me to look over there, I guess. Okay. Alright, that tells us what we need to know there. That's mooring.
All right.
Little alcoves over here. This is where we're continuing to search for people that aren't there. This alcove, the alcove is vacant. Its only inhabitant, the blowing dust of the valley, though it appears to have been built to hold bodies, it is curiously empty. Right.
Yes.
I'm guessing we're going to get the same response from everything. This alcove, it's deep enough to hide people, but is strangely empty after a thorough investigation. Yes, let's keep looking.
Let's go.
Even though we know where they are. Although, actually, that's probably a good thing to do, and because the cultists are standing right there. Check the empty alcove thoroughly for hidden doors or panels. Your investigation reveals nothing. Nothing.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? You see faint traces of footprints in the dust. Closer examination reveals that someone must have stopped in front of this alcove for a moment. Your investigation turns up no sign of any hidden compartments.
Go.
You find nothing here. And that's about all we've got. Okay.
All right.
Let's present our findings. Have you found them yet, have you? I found them, but I'm not going to bring them to you. I can't find them, and I'm done looking for them. He smiles his bloody smile. You will bring them here. You will. Try something. You'll find your own spirit liberated in short order. Were you not aware that I have reinforcements? I will call them if I must. I looked. I didn't find them. Attack. I can see we will know these words. I'll keep looking. Can we try deception? This seems the easiest way. I am terrible at it. Wait, am I terrible at it? 40%. Actually, not that terrible. She is terrible at it. He also is terrible at it. Alright. 80 isn't terrible. I'm just whittling down my points here. But it worked. Klinkar studies you closely, his eyes narrowing. You seem to speak truly. Very well. We will press this issue no further. His eyes linger on your tattoo, and he sighs angrily. So he's troubled. Motley will deal with him. Great. Pass along, then. Well, that was fun. Memorialists. Well, my friend, Beltrax says, I have no idea why you're so generous with your time and your life, but your bravery is beyond reproach. I have some small familiarity with the weapons I carry, but I'd rather not try my prowess against 3 of them at once, and I vowed to Ronus that I'd keep him safe. I do not know how it is that they left without doing you harm. Is there any chance you might tell me? Don't know how it is. I lied to them. Yeah, I mean, this is very easy. That's none of your concern. I told them I couldn't find you. A bold lie. I'm impressed they took you at your word. I'm sure they knew where we'd hidden despite our precautions. You have my thanks. Ronos Kaisul. His companion is a slight, nervous man in a hooded robe of blue and white. He bows. I am sorry you had to face those cultists. We hid, and, well... He bows, a small tremble in his hands as he does so. I have a favor to request. Those cultists, the children of the Endless Gate, they have overrun the Valley of Dead Heroes. They slaughter the visitors. They hound us, the memorialists, and have brought horror to every corner of this ancient place. Please, you have shown your mettle in dealing with these murderers. I beg of you, please find a way to make them move on. What if I refuse? Yeah, okay.
I'll remember that.
I'll take care of it. I'll take care of all your problems for you. Why not? Just seize on the nearest stranger you find. Ronos sags with relief. Thank you, friend. The coming of the children has been a relentless nightmare for us. I wish you the best of luck. And the gold tide went up again. So tell me about the Valley of Dead Heroes. It has been a burial ground for the world for at least millions of years, yet, and he holds up a finger like a lecturer, yet we have uncovered no bodies in the valley itself. Oh no. Despite all the memorials, obelisks, and urns above the ground, we have not yet been able to find evidence of a single body. Maybe it's been a while. Markers exist beyond counting. Some are in scripts we cannot understand, some are in materials we have never seen. But the bodies themselves lie in a great space beneath the ground. Above the ground there is no sign of life, none at all except what we bring with us. Tell me about yourself. My true name is Ronos Kaisul of the Memorialists. I came here from Sega's Cliffs to inter my beloved wife. That was over a decade ago. I remained because I felt a close connection to this place, somehow. When I discovered the name of my true self, I knew the world is the afterlife. This world is the afterlife. Oh, great. And the graves here are our own. Now I study the world of the living, hoping to bring others to the enlightenment I reached. Yeah, so glad we could... Yeah, I've got to get going. I'm looking for the tomb of the first Castoff. I know where it is. Isn't that why you asked me to come along? We need to get to the necropolis, up along the cliff face. We'll have to use the minims to get up there, but it's easy enough. Ah, yes, that's fair. Ronos bows nervously. That is true. You must be strong or careful, though, or both. The children are vicious and unpredictable. Tell me about the memorialists. I must devour all of your knowledge. We're ordinary people, really, people who understand the truth that this world is really the afterlife, and that the tombs here are our graves. We maintain the valley so that no name is forgotten, so that everyone can come here and remember their true selves. Once all the tombs have been claimed, we shall see a glorious resurgence of humanity. Likewise, if we allow the names to be forgotten, devastation will sweep across the land. Okay, you do you. Let's see. Sure. Farewell. Anything else we need from them, or are we done being weird? No, we're not done being weird yet. Hello again, my friend. How long have the cultists been here? They came to the valley recently, perhaps a month, perhaps only a week or two. Maybe some of them have been here for longer than that, I don't know. The children's arrival was slow and insidious. They didn't make the ruckus they're making now. Then a few days ago, they just went berserk, started abducting and slaughtering. And, well, here we are. What can you tell me about the valley? It's a vast graveyard of sorts, but you're not going to find any bodies here above ground. You'll need to get to the necropolis to find the real tombs. But to get there, you've got to use the minims. Floating pools of light, and when you walk into one, you walk out its twin someplace else. Right. Can you tell me any more about the minims? Not really, just walk in one, walk out the other. They're the best way to get around the valley. The only way in most cases. Tell me about yourself. It sounds embarrassing when I say it out loud, but I came here to meet up with a sorcerer to quest for a fabled magic board. He shrugs. I haven't met the sorcerer yet, but I did meet a memorialist. She told me about the work they do here, about this being the afterlife, that the names we bore in life are hidden in the valley in the names of the dead, who she called the truly living. I have to admit that was about the most carked tripe I'd ever heard. But she said something after. Shadows fall where they will, as they will. Meaning, if we're shadows of other lives, then, like shadows, we can't control what we are. That stuck with me. What if she's right? That's fair. There are many folks, many places that have kind of had that thing where many places in literature where they talk about reflections, shadows of other realities. Beltrax plucks one of the lockets from his bandolier, pops it open, and reveals a glowing image of a woman. He regards her wistfully. What if she's still alive somewhere? What if this isn't life? If I'm just a shadow waiting to step into the light? What if she's there waiting for me? It's preposterous, I know. You look at it from the outside, and it's... But think about it. This world is flat and cold and empty. He looks at the woman's image again. It feels right to believe there's another life, one that feels like living. He closes the locket. So I've been learning more. Ronos was my guide through the valley when these carkers came upon us. We crawled into a sepulchre behind those boards, and, well, you know the rest. Yeah, I think we're good. Safe travels, dear friend. Or safer ones, at least. Sure. Anything else we need to ask you about? Nope. Good. Okay. Okay. We shall wander this way. Assuming I can get my mouse to work properly.
You won't notice I'm gone.
Really? Are you going somewhere?
Trust and honesty are our bonds.
That's fair. Banners. Sudden drop. That's always good. Sudden drops are nice. That.
The Valley of Dead Heroes. I like it here. There's absolutely no place we should avoid completely.
Is that subtle enough? We will have to see. We are full of suspense. You're trying to hide something from me. That seems unlikely. Glad to hear it. Seems unlikely. Not at all, Aridus says with a fixed grin. Sweat gleams on his brow.
Making a note.
Every inch of this valley is packed with adventure. One of his hands comes up, trembling to cover his eyes. Interesting people, places to explore, like... He trails off, biting his lip. We should explore all of it, even the alcoves. I'm not afraid of any of it. Stop shouting at me! But we don't want him to go back to the alcove. We are using clever manipulation! Huh? Are you trying to manipulate me, Aridus? Are you alright? He rocks backwards on his feet, almost as if your words have struck him a blow. His eyes fill with desperate tears. I'm not, please, I'm not, help me. What is happening? Let us direct him. No! His glow returns and he sinks into it, gratefully smiling. I don't even know what that word means, he mumbles. I'm fine. Everything is fine. Forget I said anything. But his gaze has slipped from yours to fix on the empty air. Where's this alcove you mentioned? The easy smile falls from Aridus's face. He looks away. I wasn't talking about any alcove, just alcoves in general, in the Valley of Dead Heroes. I'm not frightened of them. Blinking rapidly, he gives you a fierce look. I'm not. Still looking for that alcove of yours. It's not mine, he shouts, and actually, I don't know what you're talking about. I have questions about you. I'm not surprised, he says, please. I'm incredibly interesting. What do you want to know? I don't think I've ever seen you sleep. I close my eyes sometimes, he says, blinking. He gasps and points at the offending lids urgently. Did you see that? I did it again. That does it. He forces both eyes wide with the pads of his thumbs. Now I'll never miss a chance for adventure. See what he does next. You're next. It's working, Aridus gasps, tears streaming from his eyes. I congratulate myself. It is probably better if you do it. No one likes to hear a handsome man giving himself compliments. Wait some more. He waits as well, blinded by his fears. Would he still blink if he blinded himself? We will explore this idea. You need your rest, Eridus. I rest, he protests, thumbs slipping from his eyes in shock. I'm resting right now. I'm not fighting or leaping or singing or anything. Can't you tell me anything about the voices I keep hearing in your head? If you're hearing voices, that sounds like your problem, not mine. Let's talk about something else. What do you know about the Valley of Dead Heroes? Well, it's full of dead heroes, he says, concentrating. I think that's somewhere in the name. He stares around. On second thought, I didn't die here, so maybe the name is wrong. Grimacing, he holds his head. I remember someone sleeping here in an alcove, he sighs, smiling in relief. And then I woke up, and I never saw the alcove again. The end. The hero was talking about our prison again. Whose idea was it to remind him? Yours. Why didn't you stop us? Okay. Well, that's starting to make sense. And how are things? I couldn't be happier with you if you were another me. Here it just blinks. Let's talk another time. I'm gonna have to talk to everybody. Okay, these statues have humming something, so there could be something terrible going on if you walk between them. This is a nice rift in the middle of just everything. That's also another sort of darker rift in the middle of everything. There are a lot of things here that I have no idea what they are. It's interesting. Okay. Let us see. Dark minim, lower, upper, light minim, dark minim. There's things. Airship quay. Wondering about the Valley of Dead Heroes. Okay, let's go touch the thing we probably shouldn't touch. A patch of darkness hangs before you like a black spot on your retina, except it doesn't move when you move your eyes. Looking into it is like looking into an abandoned cave. No breeze or sound or shadows stir within it, and its edges are slowly disintegrating. Let's see if we can figure that out. I'm at 45. You're at 25. 5. Right. There's always a lot to figure out. I'm just going to whittle my points down until I have none left. Should have filled up on more supplies to refill the intelligence. Though you've never seen one before, you're pretty sure this is a living thing. The name Minim comes to your mind. Minims are usually paired with another of their kind, and it is possible to travel from one to the other through the void that connects them. This one, however, seems to be dying, and the void within it has no other exit, as if it has lost its mate. You also notice that the disintegrating edges of the darkness are blowing away, like ash or pollen. That can't be safe to step into. You can actually catch flecks of darkness in your hand, but they dissolve away like black snow almost immediately. When you move closer, however, you accidentally breathe in several of the flecks. You stay very still for a few moments, listening to your body, but nothing seems to have changed in you, neither good or bad. Probably the flecks dissipated in your lungs just as quickly. Yeah, stepping into the darkness is something I feel like we shouldn't do. However, I'm going to save the game anyway. I am feeling rather warm right now. So we're going to do something real quick. Because, yeah. So we're going to do something real quick. I'm going to, now what I'm going to do, I'm still here, by the way. I'm just invisible. I need to turn on the air conditioning. Hang on just a sec. There we go. That's better. Hopefully. It will be a tad easier now. And I've returned. Okay.
One moment, and it's done.
Is it? Is it truly?
Of course.
What do we have up this way? Blob of 3. Did we find a fourth? One who would join us? Oh, God. And that's what I think it is. I don't think we want to interact with them.
Sure.
Symbol is painted everywhere, so much so that the air is thick with the
How do
coppery
you
scent of
maintain
blood.
your good cheer all the time?
Both dry
Why,
and
I just
fresh.
think of a happy thing, a daring thing, adventure thing, and then adventure happens.
Now I'm thinking of violent things. Oh my, it really works.
Yeah. Glowing liquid seeps out from cracks deep within this central hill. Oh wait, that's someone who's kind of like Castellage. Possibly.
I'm there, in the shadows.
Of course it's just not here. I've been over this. Here is the only place that counts. The other you said the same thing 5 minutes ago. See, if I'd brought Castellage, then we probably would have more information from this person. But I brought the people I brought. And I mean, both Makina and Eridus have things to contribute here. So it's interesting. It looks like they've... and I can't get rid of... I can't abandon Rin because I will feel terrible about myself. So, yeah. Okay. Let's continue wandering around here. Exploration! Okay.
Alright, here I go.
Alright, hack it off right there. Distracted, disturbed, this cultist mutters a reply to a question you did not hear. He barks a laugh to a quip that was not told. Indeed, he seems only loosely aware of anyone else's presence. He brings a cleaver down just inches from the other's hand. Perfect, beautiful, free in every world. Well, watch what you're doing. You nearly severed my arm instead of his. Why are you trying to take arms? The air around him becomes hazy as he smiles. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Too much going on. The two cultists break off their conversation as they notice you. The man, big, raw-boned, and unsettlingly unfocused, steps over the corpse they've been hacking up and raises his butcher's knife. You again, he says, glaring at you. And without that crazy redhead this time. Good, you haven't got a chance without her. Ah. I presume he's talking about Castellage. Have we met before? He sneers. Fought you 3 times so far walking through here. Twice that redhead did for me. Twice that redhead did for me. Ah, I get it. Fought you 3 times so far walking through here. Twice that redhead did for me, but I still put my knife in your neck in every stream. Whichever way it goes, you're done. You can see into other realities? I see everywhere, meatbag, everywhere! What redhead are you talking about? The one like me stopped 2 of my lines so far, he grins. But she's not in this one, is she? Castellage, that was her name. Yep. I don't want to fight you. He laughs darkly. And you shouldn't have stumbled past me. Well, here we go. Matkina allows herself a wolfish smile. This is tiresome. Are you going to keep yapping at us, or are you going to put that blade to use? Natalie, that cultist, turns to her companion. Kolo, do I survive this? It's easy for you, but me, I've only got the one life. Fine, fine, we'll let them go, he snarls at you. But this valley is the turret of the children of the Endless Gate. You pass here at our pleasure. Thanks, Kolo. Shut up. Great, that's wonderful.
Look out below! Above! Sideways!
What the hell?
Yes. Now.
Humanity. Cultists everywhere. Alright.
Go.
We go to yeah. This 5-meter-long black slab of basalt, or perhaps obsidian, has been smoothed by age. A stone statue holds the slab at angle, lifting it to the sky. Or is he lowering it? It is impossible to determine whether the incline is real or if you imagine it. At the top end, you can see a window into another reality, a portal wide enough to step through. On the other side is what looks like a harsh and angular world. Examine the slab. It seems perfectly smooth. Some loving hand has polished it to a mirror gloss, though distortions beneath its surface change your appearance with every slight movement. As you lean in to examine it, your reflection appears unspeakably beautiful. A few centimeters closer, and it becomes a shrieking horror. Objects in mirror. This close, you can feel a dense psychic weight around the obelisk, as if a culture's hopes and expectations have been packed into a single solid form. The thought of meeting those expectations and ascending the incline is daunting. Anything else about the slab I need? Yeah, distorting your reflection with every slight movement. Objects in mirror may be in a different universe from the one in which they appear. Examine the statue. It is a gray statue of a robed man with an ornate warhammer strapped to his back, holding the obelisk aloft or setting it down gently with his muscular arms. He exudes a fierce determination, as if he were using every quantum of energy in raising or lowering the great slab. A sign has been added to his back, a childish scrawl that reads, "The Saint of Proverbs." You can hear something, the faint whisper of human thought. You can't make out what it's saying, but it feels like it's coming from the statue itself. Speak to the statue. Are you raising the slab or lowering it? The statue does not answer you. Perhaps it cannot answer you. It's a fair assumption. We're not going to climb the slab, not yet. Let's interrogate, or ask questions of Makina. What can you tell me about the valley? No bodies above ground, just memorials, markers, obelisks. Some past worlds scoured the valley and made sure nothing could survive here. I've heard of people who came with the intent of leaving a body above ground, and they wound up putting it in the necropolis anyway. The valley does strange things to people's minds. She looks away. Never spent much time here, just passing through to get to Mila Vest. Anything about our siblings we don't know? No. Okay, let's move on.
Oh, yes?
Have you ever seen anything like this place? It's a good question. It takes her a while to notice who she looks around at all. No, her mouth stays open as she gazes in wonder around her. There's nothing like this where I come from. Even the junkyard outside the city was not as strange or creepy as this. I think it has a certain charm. It's new to me too. Let's stick together. She nods. Her eyes still rove the scenery, but her hand finds its way into yours. Holding up okay? Yeah, same response. Okay, let's keep going. Yes, abandon her here.
Right off?
Yeah, before I do anything crazy, I want to just keep looking around and make sure I've done everything I need to. around here. That looks very interesting, whatever that is. Save over that one. I don't know if we can actually get up there. Can we? We can. There's a lot of things here. Hey, what up? Phoenix, the man looks nice enough and seems unassuming at best, but, and this is the strangest feeling, it's almost as if he doesn't exist. Okay? As you try to focus on him, a sense of dread builds in you. You're not afraid exactly, but you know you aren't safe. You'll want my name. It's been long since I spoke it. Let's see. How about you call me Fens? No, that's terrible. Hang on. He starts muttering. Finks, Fiends, Phoenix. Yes, that's it, Phoenix. Call me Phoenix. Phoenix steps forward and puts a hand on your shoulder. You have come here. Perhaps you obey the call of the tombs and give me what I need. I tell you, I need answers. Someone gave me a note. It said to come here, and I would find my answers. I would find the truth, but I can't understand this note. His eyes burn, literally through his face, though his face seems untouched. What use is power if I cannot understand? What is the purpose of my power if I cannot see? Ask me! I do not know. Does he know? Of course not, but perhaps his question can lead us both to knowledge. The purpose of power is to accumulate more power. Can I see the note? I might be able to shed some light on it. He slows. Ask me of wisdom, and I may grant it to you. Blue tide went up. Yes, a tiny amount. Okay.
I'll remember that.
We're remembering things. If you can show me that you know, then I will share my knowledge with you. So, let us talk. You will ask me your questions, and with them you will share your insights. This is kind of terrifying in a way. Tell me about yourself. I have decided. My name is Phoenix. He says the name as though testing a new wine. My name is Phoenix. He holds up his hand, and for a moment you can see light fading through it. I am a seeker? Is that how one would say it? Yes, I am a seeker. Interesting. I think seeker is one of the new types in Numenera 2. I'm not sure. Is it? Or is seeker in one of those... The one I get it confused. In Monaghan. No need to look it up right now, but I know Seeker was another type somewhere. I just can't remember if it's Numenera 2 or if it was character options 2. We'll see. Who knows? Anyway, yes, I need to look at Numenera 2 soon. Again, I've sort of only skimmed it thus far for various podcasts and what have you. He holds up his hand, and for a moment you can see light fading through it. Okay, yes, I am a seeker. Okay. It is wisdom I seek. He closes his eyes and starts laughing. All the things I've found. His eyes snap open. The structure of the world is not as you imagine. What you see and feel is nothing more than the varied interactions of fundamental forces that apply rules to subsequent large pieces. Those pieces become what we call matter. What we call meat, what we call reality. He reaches out to touch your shoulder, and his hand passes through you, and you feel nothing. He reaches out again, and this time his touch is cold. It is fire, it is acid and starshine, but you are undamaged. Enlightenment comes from within, he whispers and begins to cackle. Or does it come from without? Can it come from both within and without? Yeah, that's it. Confuse him. It can, his eyes gleam. Find answers within, let another show you the path. Both lead to surprising destinations if you let them. Why don't you remember your name? Names are a construct of consciousness, but there is some fundamental importance. But is there some fundamental importance to them, or to consciousness itself? If so, is life also important? If it has no consciousness, how would it know? Consciousness is a short period in between oblivion. Isn't consciousness necessary to assign importance or other values? Yes, although the importance is what we make it, yes, I believe there is meaning to our lives. So some fundamental importance or to the conscious. Yeah, I think this is good. The importance is what we make it. That's a good response. Isn't consciousness necessary to assign importance? Or other values? Yeah. He bows his head. A fair counter. From what I have seen, life continues in many places, in many worlds, and consciousness has mediated itself out of existence in some species. I cannot say if it is importance. He smiles. He smiles. I cannot say. Perhaps we might. Are you from this world? He pauses, frowning. It is familiar to me. The lines, the curves, the structures. But it is like a poor sketch of the world I remember. I see its textures, its strokes, and I see the medium on which it is drawn. But I can lift the sketch and see the truth behind it, beneath it. Beneath. I do not know my origins. Which part of the cave are you in right now? Which part of Plato's cave? I know this is a loaded question. What are you doing here? I was given a note, a strange note, a note that told me to come here and that I would find the answers I need. Something about him pulses an almost subsonic beat, and you stagger slightly. Anger creases his brow. I hold it, and I study it, I read it, yet I do not understand it. He points a finger that cycles through the colors of the rainbow. So how do I learn it? Ask someone else to help you with. Have you studied it in different spectra? I had not considered that. He pulls a scrap of engraved synth from his pocket, and you see a rainbow of light flash across his eyes. But no, it is no use. Nothing changes. Can I see the note that brought you here? You have the mind of a seeker, not merely an explorer. Yes, you may take the note. He passes you a piece of engraved synth. Return if you are able to find my answer. Phoenix's note. This ragged square is engraved with scrawls and symbols, presumably some kind of writing, but it is mostly unfamiliar to you. Phoenix says the note told him to come to the Valley of Dead Heroes and that he would find the answers he needs. He gave it to you because he has found no answers, but he has not so far. He gave it to you because he has found no answers, but he has not so far. But he has not so far. Whatever. He hopes you will find them in his place. Although the engraved symbols are mostly incomprehensible, 4 numbers are written in the truth, 1 on each line of text. 1, 5, 3, and 5. Here we go again. What are these things? These things in front of me. Notes. They appear to be notes. Alright. 1, 5, 3, and 5. I wonder if this is a math problem. Had any trouble with the cultists here, out of curiosity? He smiles. Trouble? Not for me. They have come for me many times. They do not leave. The fact that he stands in the middle of the valley, alone and safe, supports his story. You see no sign of any struggle, however. Hang on. Come back. Okay. I don't think there's anything else we can glean. They cannot threaten me. They try to touch me with their material. They pass their blades through me. I touch them in return, and then they are gone. Their forces return to their fundamental states. Ah, there we go. Well, that was interesting. Cat. Blob of 3. Alright. So we got more things to look at up here. This is very interesting. mean, rifts and such. We won't step into them just yet, but soon. Bubbles rise from the pool before you, and its barren edges are crusted with a white rima? I forget how that word goes. I will remember. But anyway, the acrid reek of water makes your eyes tear up. Examine the pool. Drink the water from the pool. Yeah, let's immediately drink it. Despite the bubbles and deep color, the water is crystal clear and you can see down into the depths of the pool. There is a brassy metallic globe down there, caked again with that word that I'm having trouble saying, but otherwise whole. Unfortunately, it is too far down to reach without diving in. I feel like that is a terrible, terrible idea to dive into the pool and try to retrieve the object. However, it's an object and we want to retrieve it. And we did just save the game. I think we should send him. Let's see how everyone else is doing. No, let's not sacrifice the child. Matkina probably has a decent chance. Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll see if we can send Matkina down there. What could possibly go wrong? 90%, it's not terrible. Yay, pain. You dive into the water and your eyes instantly start burning. Your body... I think it is interesting, even when you send someone else to do the thing, it's as though you did it. Always in this game. You dive into the water and your eyes instantly start burning. Your body is aflame, but you kick down determined and scrabble for the globe. As soon as it's safe in your hands, you kick for the surface. You are screaming in pain as you climb from the pool. After agonizing minutes, you're able to pull yourself together enough to examine the globe. When you do, you discover it holds a treasure trove. Oh, good. Pellucid Wrap, Savant Slipknot. 20 shins. +2 to Intellect Pool. It's a bonded item. Ooh, +1 damage per effort applied. Maximum +6 on esoteric attacks. -1 Intellect Edge. Okay, so you're swapping edge for the pool. I don't know, the edge is really valuable. This wrap is made of an airy fabric that is dull in hue but shimmers effervescently with a slight silver light upon closer inspection. It is extraordinarily soft and slightly cold to the touch, imbuing its wearer with an enhanced intellect. Some old stories claim that same coldness seeps into the wearer's personality, taking a part of their warmth and humanity, and their intellect edge, evidently. It's great, I'm finding all these things I don't want to use. Savant Slipknot. It's a cipher. Increases the stat pool with the highest max value by 1. Consumes action at first glance. This appears to be a crude arm bracelet woven in the shape of a hangman's noose, the kind of item a macabre child might make. Closer examination of any of the 3 cords used in the weave twists the perception of the viewer, making that cord appear to grow thicker, while one of the other 2 thins and fades from sight. By breaking the knot, it is possible to absorb the object's powers. Interesting. Is that permanent? Because I'd totally use it. Yeah, let's drink the water. Let's not drink the water. Don't drink the water.
To action.
Okay. More crazy things happening. More hunt. I can't. I need more characters. Okay. I need to be able to write longer save game file names. And what might this be? A tall wire and metal frame stands on top of a synth base. The base contains dozens of carvings and a foreign script. The frame has been cunningly devised from strange materials, and within it, colored lights curl and intersect like smoke, dancing in a wavering helix. The lights occasionally combine to create human figures, which dissolve in a second or two without ever resolving into distinct features. Interesting. Yes, we must learn more. Use all of it. All of it! Knowledge. Upon closer inspection, you believe this monument, or at least parts of it, to be a recent addition to the valley. Nearly everything around here is weathered, buried or in decay. And while the synth base meets those criteria, the carvings within it look relatively fresh. There are even a few synth shavings still resting at the base of the monument. Okay. Likewise, the wire and metal frame has been built from several different pieces and materials, all grafted onto the synth base. XP! So the script is a Ninth World language then, but not the truth. Perhaps it was carved by members of a small village or aldea in the area, far from the larger cities. The wire and metal frame was built by someone skilled with the Numenera. He or she used disparate devices to create a beautiful vortex of light. This is a memorial for someone, or perhaps several someones, built with great care. The artisan's loss weighs heavily as you look upon this place. There's someone over there. Perhaps that is its purpose. Yeah, that works. You reflect for a moment on the sorrow of the... Oh, crap. The sorrow of the artisan of this memorial must have felt. The artisan is more much, carving each word by hand, shaping their faces in light. And it is time to move on. Cool. Okay. Neat little thing. I love stuff like this, actually.
Yes.
Yes. No, I'm not going there yet. Not going there yet. Just going to keep hunting around, looking around at the different things.
Ready.
Oh, that looks interesting. Yeah, we'll just do this. Shut up. No, you shut up. You sleep with cragworms.
All right.
Alright, let's come around and talk to this individual. And hope they don't try to absorb us. The mask. Wait, what? Oh, who knows?
Curtis, you remind me of a prince. A tiny glowing prince.
A tiny glowing prince. I remember that book. This corpulent mass is almost too large, but slowly realize it is three beings somehow melded... Content warning. Three beings somehow melded together into one. A fleshy jumble of three faces on a single head protruding from a shapeless mass of torso. Two of the faces track your approach, while the third mutters under its breath. When it speaks, the three voices blend into one buzzing, angry harmony. I can't do that, but we'll see. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you want. Do you also seek the mask? Did you climb the leaning obelisk here in the valley, held aloft by Saint Proverbius? I did not climb that. Is that what happened to you? Because... yeah. They had a Morgockian thing happen to their party. The third face begins cursing and drooling. Slimy Julian, wizened, hate them. Cold and red. It trails off as if dazed. When it resumes, it's looking in another direction entirely. Ill, so ill. You saw Saint Proverbius. We feel the mark of his eyes upon you. Free him. It makes no matter if he lives or dies. Free him? How? Climb the obelisk. Reach the portal. It may crush him, but he will not bear the weight any longer. All three of their thoughts assault you at once, impossible to distinguish from one another. If there's any useful information coming from their minds, it's lost in the cacophony. Yeah. What are you? An astute question. We are three. A glaive, a jack, a nano. Missing but one, we require a fourth. We seek knowledge here in the valley. We pursue the wisdom of the ancients in this fallen age. We assess, we judge. But humanity is on the decline. It is only through purity and adherence to the old ways that we achieve enlightenment. Well, if you're looking for someone with wisdom, look elsewhere. We scoff in the face of wiseness. We laugh at danger. We lost the train of thought. No matter. The blob stares at him incredulous. You have the aura of a hero and the mind of a simpleton. Can your lineage truly be so sullied? When you say you need a fourth, what do you mean? A fourth to join us, to complete us, to square our circle. Someone to sing to us, to unite us, to unite us. Suggest someone. Please leave me out of this, she whispers at your side. What if you sought a minstrel, a bard? Would that help you? I could join you. No. I don't think anyone should join you. The three faces all strain to seize control of the body, and they stare at you as best as they are able. What? What is wrong with us? We are perfect, pure. Old guard of old ways, protectors of truth. The blob pauses for a moment. But respect you for speaking mind. The second face says, need one who is similar to us, who knows songs of power. The first face replies, there are none like us, none, we are pure, pure. The third face gibbers profanity, or gibbers, depending on which side of the room you're standing. You don't understand its words, but its meaning is clear. It hates everyone and everything but itself. How did you come to be this way? We climbed the leaning obelisk to seek the Mask of Prosper. Everyone should climb the obelisk. We entered the portal. We emerged on the other side, as you see us. Yeah, let's not go in the portal. Folks, yeah, let's not do that. A maze surrounded us over which the painful shadow of a deity was cast. It was a labyrinth of straight corridors and right angles, full of traps, puzzles, and monsters. Yeah, we really shouldn't go in there. At last we emerged and now dream of the way to return to optimize our experience. It is an adventuring party. Tell me about this mask. The Mask of Prosper, the true sight. A treasure for the knowledgeable, a useless scrap for those who will not see. We know its truths and its secrets are ours. Not for the weak, not for the stupid. I feel like he's looking at Eridus when he says that. What can you tell me about the area? Place of ancient knowledge, a place to rest, recover, think, discuss. The memorialists have helped to locate and understand, but they are being supplanted by the new. The third face mutters, hate new. The head nods vigorously and proudly. The second face says, the new leave us alone. They fear Blob of Three. The third face adds, as should all, we are prestigious. Do you want me to undo what's happened to you, or put you out of your misery? Not that we want to fight you, but you know. The strange creature reacts savagely, thrashing and flailing. No, no, we are happy this way. Happy. The conjoined faces look anything but happy, and its straining limbs are practically tearing it apart, but the blob's tone suggests that you're an idiot for wanting to help. This form is perfect, like the forms of the ancients. Need only a fourth to complete us. But where? The third face sprays a fine mist of saliva and phlegm across the other two. You're fools! You have lost the way! The three faces begin to bicker and squabble in an incomprehensible tongue, and one of them bites into the blob's exposed flesh. The other two howl in rage and begin gnashing and howling, occasionally snapping bloody chunks out of their own flesh, creating wounds that heal as soon as they appear. Farewell. I think we're done. We'll be back. Great. Yeah, sure. Sure thing. I don't really want to examine it more closely.
Yes.
Rising before you is a tall and tapering obelisk, crowned with the carved stone head of some elegant, sharp-eared animal with 6 eyes. Wrapping around the obelisk are bands of engraved hieroglyphics. Let me actually pull back so that we can see it better when we're doing this. We're going to examine the stone head. The carved head mounted on top of the obelisk stares out into the distance, its eyes empty and mournful. Again! Same thing, okay. Examine the hieroglyphs. Except for 4 stylized depictions of the same sharp-eared animal that tops the obelisk, the pictographs make no sense to you. Can we try to remember? Did we not go back that far? 4 of the pictographs are stylized versions of the animal this obelisk was meant to depict, but you can make no sense of the hieroglyphs' meaning. Examine the base. The base of the obelisk is smooth, untouched by any weathering or other troubles that seem to have eroded much of the other ruins in this place. It sits in a pool of acrid liquid. The liquid smells foul and caustic, but the obelisk appears undamaged. It's unclear how much more of the obelisk lies beneath the pool. Let's dive in and find out. The statue's head seems to move until its eyes stare directly into yours. They are still mournful, but no longer empty. A faint beckoning glimmer shines within. You turn to your companions, but they don't seem to notice that anything strange has happened. I think you're seeing things. Should we look into the statue's eyes? I think this is not what happened to them. A wave of dizziness overcomes you as you gaze into the statue's eyes. You're no longer facing the obelisk. Indeed, you are no longer human. Here we go. The tail of the dead lack in your mouth drags along the ground as you creep through the dense foliage to the temple. Okay. You peek out through the gandu fronds and see the old monk, Nimu, shucking haupods on the weathered steps. You pad out to greet him, and he grins toothlessly at the sight of you. There she is, he says, chuckling. There's my brave hunter, and with a gift. How thoughtful. You drop the lock at his feet and arch your back as he strokes your fur and adjusts your collar. But your work isn't done, sweet girl. There's locks aplenty in the grain room. Bring me a dozen more before I finish these house, and I'll give you your favorite nibble. A dozen locks is nothing to a hunter of your skill. You pad off to the granary, ready for battle. The obelisk reappears, and you realize your joy was remembered only. Bah! I mean, that's 3 XP. I shouldn't really sneeze at that. But of course, let's look again, because glutton for punishment. Another wave of dizziness overcomes you as you succumb to the statue's memories. You watch from the undergrowth, terrified, as the followers of the bird god pull down the stone statues of the great ones and chase the monks from the burning temple. Heathen, cries their leader. Worshippers of false gods, kill them all! A birdman sees you. He shrieks. I have no idea how to pronounce this word. A Satur! We must kill it! The monks hide their souls in the little beasts. If we don't wipe them all out, the monks will return as strong as ever. You turn and bound into the jungle as a mob of angry men crash in after you, and the obelisk fills your vision again. More XP. A Satur. So that's what this creature is called. Before we do this again, I'm going to save the game. Because, you know. I feel like this is kind of important. Anything else? You watch from a low branch as the grave robbers tear up the stones of the ruined temple's nave, looking for the old catacombs. Their leader sits on the stone head of a fallen statue, patting it and stroking its pointed ears. He laughs. And this is what the old monks worshipped before the Gerudi wiped them out. The prince of the Satur. They say his big ears hear all the secrets ever whispered within earshot of any of those six-eyed pests. Nice. You hiss at the insult. He looks up. Why, there's one now. Hasn't been a monk alive around here to tame a Satur in 100 years. He chirps at you. Come here, little one. Let me see that jeweled collar of yours, won't you? Looks like lovely workmanship. You give him a disdainful look and climb further up the tree as the obelisk returns. The memory fades and the obelisk returns. Anything else? You watch from under a gandu bush as a father and mother drop double armloads of spring wood in the middle of the temple ruins. I mean, is this going to show me the vision of every single cat that's ever existed in the Ninth World? Then sit and mop their brows as their 3 children begin stripping the stalks of their bark. Plenty to build with out here, at least, says the father. And we'll need all we can get, says the mother. Without a perimeter fence to keep out the balls and the skullhounds, we'd be dead in a week. What about the lack? What about the lacks? One of the children cries. The child has a very deep voice. The father laughs. Pray to Goonie, daughter. Maybe he'll send one of his servants for us. He's the prince of all Saturl, you know. Your ears prick up. At last you are wanted. It's time to hunt. Yay. 15 XP. The eyes of the statue fade, though they do not go out entirely, as though it has divested itself of a responsibility. Why it did so remains a mystery. Do we need to do this again? Yeah, same stuff. Okay. It's interesting. It is. Okay. Now, we cannot proceed without stepping into something. So the question is, do we do the weird crazy stuff first, or do we do the, I mean, if we get the weird crazy stuff out of the way, then that'll probably help. Alright. You never know. Okay, save. So the first weird crazy thing to do, obviously, is to climb this thing. Hey, what up? Just wandering, just doing laps around the middle of this place. The slab is nearly frictionless, and you find it almost impossible to gain any sort of traction, but as you press your fingers into its surface, you can feel it melting slightly at your touch. You pull yourself slowly upward on your belly, inch by inch, your fingers beginning to bleed. You've just reached the 3-meter mark when the glistening rock begins to shake. You release your grip and slide to the ground, all your progress lost in a moment. A voice cries out in mortal terror, and the menhir crashes to the ground with a thunderous roar. A great plume of dust rises in the air. Okay. When the dust settles, the portal has vanished. You can barely make out the fingers of a hand protruding from beneath the rock, holding a scrap of gray fabric that looks almost like a mask. The fingers twitch once, twice, and are still. A trickle of dark fluid dribbles out in a thin stream. Oh dear. Examine the hand. It is gray, the color of stone, leached of life. It has no other distinguishing characteristics. None, that is, but the strip of gray fabric dangling from the fingertips. It is a mask of strange design with lenses over the eye holes. Alright, let's take it. As you pick up the mask, its ashen gaze fixes on you. The gray fabric feels like flesh, a slab of wet meat draped across your fingers. A whisper caresses your mind. Prosper. You feel an unconscious revulsion, and then you turn away from the fallen slab. This must be the mask the repugnant blob sought. Face that never remembered. A face sculpted from a soft gray material gazes through and beyond you from ashen sockets. The mask affixes to your face with an almost lifelike eagerness. It is clammy, moist to the touch. Viewed through its lens, the world takes on a nightmarish aspect. Once mundane objects twist with strange new angles. Familiar faces, those of your most trusted friends and companions, contort in ways they never should. In the corners of your eyes, misshapen monstrosities lurch and stagger across impossible landscapes. The effects are subtle at first, but the longer you wear the mask, the more horrifying the visions. What enlightenment or madness awaits one with the courage to wear it for long enough? I think I know who I have to give this to. No, we're done. Done with that. Yeah, I think that I've got some ideas. Okay. I am going to, once again, I'm going to vanish again for a minute, but I'm still going to be here. Because I can do that now, and it's a fun toy. Anyway, there, I'm gone. But I'm still here. You can still hear me, can't you? I'm glad you can.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm wanting to try it out on this Phoenix individual. But before I do that, I'm wondering if I should go down to the, wait, let's look at the map again. Solana Markareth. Okay, I gotta get up there, which, you know, involves hopping through gates, one presumes. But, let's figure that out, shall we? I want to talk to the, to some of these folks. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Eratus, Eratus, Eratus. Yes, Eratus? I was just thinking how wonderful it would be if there were 3 of us.
You climbed obelisk, crushed Saint Proverbius, though you knew he lived. Oh dear. I don't think they're going to like us very much. No matter. The future is built on blood and rage. You fell. What did you learn from this experience? Gravity is still strong here if you want to be literal about it. I found this mask. The blob's mouths gasp simultaneously. The mask! The mask of Prosper, the face that never remembered. They yearn for it even as they squirm away. Give it to us! Give! What will you give me for it? You do not know Prosper. You don't appreciate him like we did. We will give you nothing. Nothing! In that case, I'll keep it. We don't want it anyway. Anything you touch is tainted garbage! Its fingernails drag long furrows through its flesh, bloody runnels that heal instantly. Ah, what do you want from us, purveyor of Skist? You'll be back. Yeah, I want to give them the mask, but I want to try it with Phoenix first. Because I believe there's something happening there. Phoenix might be the 4th. Nope, that's it. Okay. Alright. Well, so much for that. Can't remember where I am with this. I think we're fine, but I'm just going to go ahead and... No, you know what? I'm just going to give it. I saw the portal, but it vanished when the obelisk fell. Yes, and from this we all understand that we cannot attain that height again. The portal exists only in our memories. All faces grimace in unison as if trying for an unfamiliar smile. Here, you can have this mask I found. And we got XP for that. That's good. The blob reaches out with its deformed arms and accepts the mask from you. The 3 faces immediately start trying to control the creature's arms so they can place the mask on one of the other faces. And they lose interest in you for the moment. The face that never remembered we lost it. We got 25. Give it to me! No! To me! Wear it! Talk sniffer. Yeah, let me actually look at these. If the gate's in the necropolis, then the first step will be to find a way into the necropolis tombs. Okay. Phoenix gave me the note that is troubling him. If I can figure out what it means, maybe I can help him. Huh. Lost Shepherd. Eridus has been acting strange ever since we went to the Valley of Dead Heroes. I need to figure out what's bothering him. Spoke fearfully of alcoves in the Valley of Dead Heroes. Maybe searching the valley and finding the alcove he's not afraid of will explain, quote-unquote, not afraid of, will explain why he's behaving strangely. Okay. I feel like we missed something. No, that's different. Yeah. Alright, now we're fine. Okie doke. We got XP for doing that, so it's not too bad. So here we go. We have this, which I think probably will connect to this one. That's my guess. There's a person up there. Wait. Persea. That sounds like that name sounds familiar. So that's probably someone we need to talk to. I mean, they're all people we need to talk to. We have this, which leads where? Somewhere I cannot see. Alright. Oh, up here. Okay. The other side. Interesting. Okay.
Eris? I'm sorry I called you tiny before.
Well, I'm sorry you're sorry. Are you sad? We should shake that out of you. Oh, there you go. All cured.
Oh.
I'll handle it.
Okay. You come back down here. Ah! See-through statues. Okay. Before we do the next crazy thing, I will save the game.
All right.
Step into the darkness. The darkness surrounds you. You are whipped by it as if by a wind. It is a swirling vortex with no way ahead and no way back. The opening you pass through has vanished into utter blackness. A hail of tiny objects batters you in the dark, thrown by the wind, rocks or bones or dirt you cannot tell. Then something large and sharp slams into you, and you wrestle with it for a moment before realizing it's a skeleton, though not human. As you try to shrug it off, you feel an object in its hand. You pry it free and the skeleton falls past you. Then the wind lofts you toward a bright spot in the darkness, and you stumble back out of the opening you entered, clutching the stolen object in your hand. Stim. Didn't do that skeleton much good, but, 4 uses. This odd syringe contains a liquid that moves on its own regardless of how it's held. It's plus 45% on non-combat tests. Nice. Injected the liquid inside grants a momentary and pure clarity, giving a significant boost to a single great challenge facing the user. Cool. Let's step away. I don't know. I don't think going in there again is going to be helpful, probably. However, am I carrying too many ciphers? I am carrying too many ciphers. I need to give some of this. I need to pass this off. Rin is the designated cipher bearer now, so we're going to go ahead and give something to her. Let's give her the burning mouse. She's got that. Don't know if I use it, if it's permanent, then that'll be easy to just finish. Okay. We need to find somewhere we can rest here because we're just depleting our pools. Okay, I'll overwrite that. You step in again? Do it again! You enter the dark portal and again, you're battered by the debris before being spit back out. Same opening you came in. There's a portal somewhere. It seems to be blocked. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, we'll try this one. A sliver of darkness hangs before you, like the entrance of a cave, except there is no cave, only a tear in space. Within the darkness you see the glow of stars, and a cool night breeze wafts past you, carrying the scent of desert flowers and the echoes of sounds you are not hearing around you. If you step through that darkness, you might go anywhere, or maybe nowhere. It could be nothing but a shadow. It's going up there! Okay. Examine it more closely. The cool air that sighs through it seems to follow you. The shadow does not change, no matter your perspective. You have the discomforting feeling that your attention on it has drawn its attention to you, that it is somehow examining, analyzing, and assessing you. Yay! Let's go through. You step into the darkness and it envelops you, then dissolves you into twinkling motes, drifting in a sphere of light. The light carries you through a black void, weightless, bodiless, selfless, toward another patch of starry sky. Then suddenly, you are somewhere else. Yay! Teleportation. There's a thing over here. I'm very curious what this is. Gotta check the thing. It's important. A large upside-down pyramid floats before you, lit from below by a soft white light. It is made of weathered stone, but you can see lights and hear a faint buzzing through the cracks in its crumbling facade. Examine the pyramid. You study it from every side. There's no inscription to explain why it was erected or by whom, nor is there any obvious way to interact with it. You do notice that the light from inside the cracks seems to follow your hand as you slide it across, so perhaps it is reacting to you after all. Try to figure out how the pyramid works, of course. 90's good. Okay. Just keep whittling down. Healed! Oh, cool. You slide your hands across the pyramid, following not the cracks, but the symbols and etchings on its surface. After a great deal of experimentation and not a small amount of luck, you discover a specific pattern which causes the light to grow in intensity. As it does so, a soft warmth envelops you, refreshing your body and mind. As you feel better, however, the pyramid seems to grow more dim. One intellect and one speed. You stop, not wanting to waste the pyramid's obvious healing power just yet. It should be saved for a time when you really need it. Full healing powers! Not yet. Looks like somebody meant to add to this platform once. That project has since been abandoned. Abandoned.
Sure.
I know, I save incessantly. Alright, let's see here. Persia. I know you from somewhere. Let's find out where. You recognize this woman from the description that Omedan gave you in Sagus Cliffs. This is Persia, Omedan's lost love. She certainly doesn't appear as confused as Omedan made her sound. Instead, she's studying the necropolis with a frustrated expression. Persia, isn't it? A man named... That's where we heard about her, yeah. What are you doing here? A man named Omedan was looking for you. I convinced him to give it up. You what? She says, whirling around. Her eyes are wide, pale circles. And you're certain he hasn't followed you anyway? She studies your face and relaxes. Thank you. You have no idea how much you've helped me. The idiot was so convinced I needed help. Is it so hard to just believe someone's words? Yep. Apparently. Well, humans are dumb. We don't understand when we hear things that's actually what's happening. Sometimes we want to convince ourselves that the narratives that we've told ourselves are true rather than what we're actually hearing or seeing. Happens a lot. unfortunately, and it gets people hurt. Persea turns back to the necropolis. Damnable cultist, she mutters. I need to get back inside, but I can't risk... She catches your eye. Never mind, none of this is your concern. You've done more than enough. This is something I need to handle myself. You know, if you need help... Nope, never mind. Okay.
I'm ready.
Sure it's safe.
Barricale Brunna. This androgynous woman projects an air of fearsome will. Her muscles are thin and wiry, and her body screams of sharp edges. She seems like a human stiletto. Her head is shaved, and she bears the tattoo of a Castoff on her scalp. Never seen you before, she says. I'm Barricale Brunna. She starts scanning the cliffside. How long have you been awake since he moved out? Of your body, I mean. He's got that innocent idiot look. Changing God's already left him. He's not joining Page, Barricale. Not if I have anything to do with it. Not particularly interested in recruiting anyone, Matkina. Matkina, not my mission. She faces Matkina. You still mad about Colm? Still carrying that grudge? She looks at you and jerks her thumb at Matkina. All the people she fought so hard to save, they're all dead. Natural causes. She shrugs. But you don't carry a grudge for natural causes. But you don't carry a grudge for natural causes. I'm starting to remember why I left Mila Vest. Starting to remember why we encouraged you to leave. She turns back to you. Anyway, I was on my way to Mila Vest with a message for Page Reckon, but the portals are blocked. The cowards heard someone say the Sorrow's hunting again, so they locked the doors behind themselves. Page will get her message later. I need to return to the endless battle. Okay. Yeah, what's cowardly about keeping the sorrow up? Tell me about Page, Reckon. Barricale flashes a quick look of surprise. Oh, right, you're new. Page, as a commander of the First's militia, took up the mantle, keeping our cursed sire's forces contained. Smart woman, tough. I thought the First was dead. She is. Page kept the name in the First's honor. She doesn't care for the glory. Besides, our creator's carked. Fighting him is the best bet. Using the First's name reminds everyone why we fight. Why would you fight the Changing God? She sighs. He's going to kill us all if he gets the chance. He wants to erase us. Thinks that's the way to stop the sorrow. We're not his children to him. More like broken clones, byproducts. He'd never sacrifice himself, but that's because he's the only real person in his world. As he is the only real person in his world. Yes. What's the message you have for her? Maybe I could deliver it. Endless battle intelligence, not for you. Alright, let's talk about something else. Fine, but make it quick, will you? I need to get out of here. Nope, we're doing this whole conversation tree! Okay. Tell me about the endless battle. If it's really endless, why keep fighting? Brunna shrugs. Makes us stronger, faster, deadlier, more of what we are. Strips away the dross of life and makes experience shine. Peacetime life is dull and worthless, like watching life go past through a veil. War clarifies life, makes us better. Endless is a good thing if you keep that in mind. What can you tell me about Mila Vest? She stares at you flatly for a moment. You feel a tickling at the back of your mind, and she shrugs. See for yourself. If you can get in. They've locked themselves away. They think they're going to find answers while they're tucked away from the world. She shrugs. Place has its uses, true, but it's mostly a bolt hole from the world. Death comes for us all. Mila Vest is just a place to prolong the waiting. How are you going to get back to the endless battle? She points. I was looking at the past Colm village, but it collapsed. Doesn't seem to be any way over these mountains either. No matter. I'll find a different way. She glances at you sidelong and sneers. Sooner rather than later, I think. What's cowardly about keeping the sorrow out of Milavest? Hasn't found them there for hundreds of years, but now they say it's time to close the doors, like it's going to traipse in. Been telling them that if the sorrow tries hard enough, it'll get in. Can't stop that kind of power. On that we agree. Milavest is a false hope. She nods at your sister. Always were smart about that. Pity you're not so reasonable on the rest. Alright, I'll be seeing you. No, you won't. I'm done looking for a way over these twice-damned mountains. Gonna find a different way out of the valley. Been real good talking with you, though. The tone in her voice makes you question the veracity of that statement. Wait, you're leaving? Let me ask more questions. No, we're good. That she strides off.
On it.
What's that? Crisp, pungent water issues from an inhuman head. There's nothing further up the slope to indicate where the water is coming from. Recent landslide has closed off what was once a pass out of the valley. Okay, interesting. Like a building there.
All right.
Okay. Got 3 NPCs here now, so we're gonna need to take another drink. Hang on just a second. Yeah, I'm gonna save after. Hey, golly, pay attention. I assure you that I am aware. Who are these people? Thelana Markareth. You see a slender woman covered in worn brown robes leaning over the fire, the cowl pulled low over her head. Her skin is a dark bronze color. Here to interrogate me? She pulls back her cowl enough for you to see that her long hair is more silver than brown, and the years of life on the road are apparent in her face. She looks weary and exhausted except for her eyes, which burn like golden fire. I'm Thelana Markareth. What do you... Her eyes alight on your tattoo, and she hisses. Skist. You bastards are all over the place here, eh? Look, I can't tell you anything, all right? We're done with fighting. Let him drag us back. Let him drag us back. We'll take off again. We're not going back to that hill. You can't tell me anything. I'll be to the judge of that. Start talking. I just want you to answer some questions. What are you talking about? Thelana looks confused for a moment. You're a Castoff, so either you're here to drag us back or kill us. She turns to her side and pauses, as if listening to words that you cannot hear. Then she responds, No, I suppose you're right. Still, he's a Castoff. Who are you talking to? My men. Zad reminded me not all Castoffs are endless battle, but Timpo wants me to be careful with you. She holds up a finger. People have said they're not there because they can't see them, but they can see you. So let's not have that conversation. She settles back. So, are you here to kill us? Tell on us? See, the funny thing is, at first glance, it's like, okay, this person is crazy, but the thing is, this is the Ninth World, so it's entirely possible that there could be invisible people standing there. They say that to most of my crew. Not Denovan or Luca, though. Because they're like there. I have no part in the endless battle, but answer some questions for me. She breathes out a low whistle. All right, good. Sure, we'll answer anything we can. Tell me about yourself. Me, Denovan, Luca, Timpo, Zad, and all the rest. They're my crew, my men. We're just trying to find a way home from the endless battle. We came through Colne, but... She waves a hand at the pile of rubble. It's not exactly a forgiving route. Just trying to figure out where we go next. Her sleeve slips with her gesture. You can see that her skin does not simply look metallic. It is metal. She catches you looking and tugs her sleeve back down, annoyed. A price of the endless battle. One of the reasons I left. I used to think I'd earn glory there. Thought my nanoskills would propel me high, she scoffs. Only room in that exalted air is for Castoffs. The rest of us bleed while you lot laugh. That's why we go out. That's why we got out. Okay. Cursed lung demons. And Makina says, Hold. You came through Colm. What was it like there? She mutters to you, Haven't been back for centuries, not since Tash. I couldn't bear the thought of it. It's just ruins, mostly. Cursed ground. People tell stories of some kind of genocide hundreds of years ago, but who knows if that's true. We didn't want to go through there, but we did. Makina nods brusquely and looks off into the distance. She says nothing. What are you doing here? Camping, trying to figure out our next steps. Came through Colm with reluctance and decided it wasn't the best place to plan. Thought we'd get a clearer perspective down here. She frowns. Instead, there's some sort of cult war going on. We've got to leave sooner rather than later. She nods her head as if receiving compliments from an unseen audience. Yeah, there is a bit of a cult war going on. Oh boy. Yeah, no, she said she didn't want you to have the conversation. I only see Donovan and Luca here. We're tempo inside. She closes her eyes and pinches the bridge of her nose. If you can't see them, it's no fault of mine. Frankly, they're lucky they don't have to talk to you. Alright. What can you tell me about the Endless Battle? Oh, no, it's too much. Too much horror. She shuts her eyes tight and shakes her head. When she opens them again, her eyes are cold. You want to know about the Endless Battle? Talk to my crew. Hear it from those who ran. Why they ran. Then maybe I'll tell you what I think. Why would you talk to me? This is not worth reliving. Talk to my crew. If you can get their stories, I'll give you mine. Looks like you've been resting here a while. Is it safe? Thelana chews the question over a while and then shrugs. It's safe for us, she says sourly. For you? She eyes her companions and they give a slight nod. We can make it safe for you. It'll cost, though, 100 shins. Forget it. Farewell. Aye, for now. I mean, is there a point? I mean, I guess I could hire them. I have the money. Don't know. It's a good question. Should start putting numbers in there if I can. Oh, there's a crystal thingy up there. Luca Merigali. The man is busy, reading a strange device, an elegant square of some kind of metal. Odd letters and images flash by on a reflective screen embedded in the square. When you draw near, you notice that the device is plugged into his arm with a long silver wire, and one of the man's eyes is mechanical. Greetings. His voice is kind, though it buzzes like a rattling sheet of synth steel. I am Luca Merigali. He gestures with the book. Sometimes I read in the older tongue. I uncover great knowledge this way. For instance... His metal eye stutters and clicks, and a tinny voice emerges from the pad. The formal education of the young begins in utero, with nervous system uptake inhibitors and microwave transmissions to the developing fetal brain. He clicks it off. You see, I do not know the species to which this refers, but I begin to know of them. At any rate, what can I do for you? What's your name again? Did I not introduce myself? He closes his eyes. I did. I said greetings. I am Luca Merigali. Perhaps your memory storage has been corrupted. Tell me about your thing. That's probably, yeah. Luca nods. I have spoken my name already. The knowledge of my character is thus more important. I was a soldier. I travel with my friends, and I and my friends travel to our home, or at least this is our plan. He leans close. I admit to concern for my friends. They seem trapped in the past, paralyzed. They are not as they were when we set out. He gestures to the mechanical extrusions on his own body. Nor, to be fair, am I. What do you mean when you say your friends are different? What do you mean when you say your friends are different? They were... Sorry, old, very obscure joke from obscure person type thing, probably. Who knows? Anyway, hi. They were full of hope once. We and a dozen others set out from our home, an aldea west of Sagus Cliffs, to find fortune in the endless battle. We joined a recruiter in Sagus Cliffs, and enlisted with the army of the Changing God. Is it who I'm thinking it was? We thought we were prepared. We were not. We were in trenches. We fought with bolt throwers, energy weapons, and detonations. That first day saw half our friends obliterated by a rogue particle wave that emanated from our side of the battlefield. From our side of the battlefield, yay. And then we woke again in a new... Glad you chose this voice, aren't you, Jim? Yep, really glad. And then we woke again in a new reality, our memories of the old world intact, but our bodies whole. Except for Timpo, who was half dissolved in this new reality. So it went incremental gains as a whole, with certain consequences carrying into new lives. Sometimes they would undo all our day's heroism in an unseen advantage. Other times we'd lose a friend forever. One day I was caught half out of a trench. The air exploded above us and I burned. The new reality did not restore me. XP. I spent some weeks under the care of Kurgens. When I woke, I was as you saw me, and our other friends had been killed. Thalana and Denovan reacted very differently to me. They say I too have changed. I don't know. I know that I no longer fear. I do not remember much of emotion. I recall the fear and horror, but I do not recall its taste. And when I spoke to them, they agreed that it was time for us to leave before we became these forgotten names lost in the flux of worlds. Timpo, Zad, Brasieth, so many names, all gone. Thalana says you're deserters. He asked happily. He frowns. Yes, we have left our posts. But I do not believe we have deserted. I believe we have become aware. If the battle is endless, then our struggle means nothing. If our struggle means nothing, why should we continue to struggle? Money and glory were our reasons. I don't remember being so foolish. You just well be talking about life. If life has no meaning, why continue to struggle? The struggle reveals who you are. That's a good point. I mean, I agree. He nods. We thought so as well. Anything else about yourself you want to tell us? He frowns. I am unwilling to commit personal details to a stranger. I have told you what I am willing to share, no more. What can you tell me about the valley? It is a dry place. I tasted the water that bubbled up nearby. It was alkaline and induced strange visions. My new metabolism protected me from the worst of it. Had my friends tasted it, they might have died. Yeah, the water that it was telling us to drink. Yeah, no, I didn't drink any. Because we didn't want to die. He looks down at his metal pad. We have found no bodies nor anything of value. All is quiet, but this is a waypoint, not a destination. Anything else? I would not remain here long. It is inimical to life. Inimical to life. Alright, that's done. Safe travels. That wasn't so hard, was it? This next one's going to sound just like me, probably. Yeah, that's fine. And you want to disagree with him? No. Because I don't. Not really. These packs are lived out of, but appear ready to leave at a moment's notice. They smell faintly of herbs and ozone. And Denovan Russ. The man looks up at you momentarily before looking away into the distance at nothing in particular. He takes a drag on his smoke. His presence strikes you as odd, as if something about him were trying to inspire dread in you. What's your name? Denovan Russ. He flickers a gaze at you and then stares off into the distance again. What are you doing here? Trying to get home. He stabs his smoke at Thelana. You got questions, talk to Thelana. You've already met her, yeah? Yeah. He inhales another mouthful of smoke. Thelana says you're deserters from the Endless Battle. He stops breathing. The smoke falls from his nerveless fingers, and his face goes slack with terror. He starts shaking, and a single sob breaks from his throat before he snaps back to reality. The flat expression settles back onto his face, and he picks up his dropped smoke. He takes a deliberate drag, and only then does his tension ease. No. Tempo, Zad, oh gods, Brasiath, why? Can't you tell me anything about the Endless Battle? His breath hitches, but he controls his reactions this time. No, see it yourself. What can you tell me about the valley? Nothing, just dust and memories. Alright. Now let us come back to you. I've talked to Luca, and I tried to talk to Denovan about the Endless Battle. Thelana says, good enough. They were normal people once, ordinary, thrill-seeking kids. Look at them now. Most wars, she starts. A group of people march in with their artifacts, gravity, light pulse, time benders, and march back out. Time benders? Endless Battle is like that, but going on for centuries. Think of what it does to the landscape. Think of what it does to the psychic terrain. Think of what it does to your friends. She waves at her nearby companions, her gesture continuing to colleagues unseen. And when you're vermin to the people who run the war, when you got no hope to survive and you can feel realities collapsing around you, when you see wormholes open up and monsters walk through, when the air is toxic and the ground melts and you feel your mind assaulted, it's not personal. It's not someone who wants your destruction in particular. You're just inconvenient to them. Your death is another number, a way to measure their success. It's hell. A business like hell. XP! And you did it. Castoffs. You could stop if you wanted, but you don't. Or maybe you don't care. I mean, when you've made statistics of your enemies, faceless foes whose existence you can erase without qualm, you're not just hurting them. You're hurting yourself, the way you see the world. And soon everything is conflict and pain. All that matters is your success, and that you've killed yourself, and you've killed yourself, and you don't even know it. She wipes a tear away. It ruins everything. Everyone it touches. I'd like to rest here safely. Oh, I see. Fine, price is still 100 shins. Oh, forget it. Farewell. Bye for now. So that's where you can rest if you pay 100 shins. Which, again, you know, that's a map, Jim. We have 100 shins. We have 1,600 shins. We could do it 16 times. But alas, that's not what we're doing. Okay, we don't have long before we are going to be done with this for today. I think we've got a decent amount of stuff done. At least we've been looking around and such, so that's good. Yes. There comes that moment when you want to, when you want to widen the screen. It's funny that. Huh. Okay. Can't widen it. We'll work on that later. Sorry, I just sort of saw that and was like, hey. Okay, we're gonna hop back through this one.
All right.
That's about all we can do here.
Look out below! Above! Sideways!
Anything else? No, okay.
All right.
Gotta still look for that alcove, you know? Okay, walk into the darkness. Nice. See, the civilization's old, and every mountain is carved in some way.
Ready.
Want a drink? There's a Terran space here, like the patch of darkness near the entrance to the valley. A patch of white light hangs in the air, like glare bouncing off a window, except there is no window. Within the light you see a play of shadows, like those on a wall opposite a door when someone walks past outside, except there is no wall. But there might be a door. There is certainly a breeze coming from inside the shimmer, and echoes of sounds you are not hearing around you. If you stepped through, you might go anywhere, or maybe nowhere. It could be just a trick of the light. Examine it more closely. The patch of light seems to follow you as you walk around it, always facing you. It doesn't look like much, just a trick of the light. But you get the strangest feeling that it's watching you, the way it moves and pulses. It feels alive. Walk into the light. Step into the light. You step into the glare and it envelops you, blinding you, then dissolves you into twinkling motes, drifting in a spear of light. The light carries you through cold darkness, weightless, bodiless, selfless, toward another patch of glare. Then suddenly, you are somewhere else. Everything spins around and suddenly, I'm elsewhere. Old adventure game thingy. Okay. I do want to save. I'll look around up here for a few minutes, and then I think I am going to need to get going.
You bet.
Ah! Silk ribbons and banners flap softly against stone. These decorations are recent, perhaps several years old, but like everything else here, they've been forgotten. Interesting.
Whatever.
I can help you find what you're looking for. Hey friend, come over here.
Go.
The small alcove is about the size of a small hovel. Its sole virtue is that it is a shelter from the wind and from the sight lines of casual passers-by. The runes carved above its entrance fill your mind with a wordless message of catastrophic danger. The dust inside the alcove is undisturbed apart from a set of footprints that circles the interior. Their owner appears to have curled up in a corner under a ledge containing a small ebony box. Dust inside is undisturbed apart from setting footprints that circles. Okay. Owner appears to have curled up in a corner on a ledge containing a small ebony box. The dust on that ledge has also been disturbed. Someone removed something long and thin like a blade from this place. In its place is a crudely carved herder's crook. Someone slept here, didn't they? They wanted to hide, but they didn't know how to hide. She puts her hand in her pocket nervously. I hope they found someplace better to go. This doesn't feel like a place to stay. It feels like hunger. She hugs herself. Let's go. I don't like this place. This is that alcove, isn't it? Eridus cradles his forehead with his hands. He mouths the word no, then swallows, shaking his head. He seems smaller than you recall. I don't like this place. His voice is a whisper. His hands fall to his eyes. and he touches them as if they are in pain. Are we leaving? I want to leave. We should not be here. We tried to stop him. You failed. What's wrong, Eritis? Nothing. He swallows hard. I don't want to say, not here. Please, I'm begging you. Let's go. See, I mean, here's the problem. The problem is we are playing a game. If this were a human being, I could be like, okay, no, it's no problem. And then later, you know, walk away, talk to him. And that might be a thing they've coded in here. Unfortunately... I remember this place. His voice cracks again. As it runs dry, the glow seems to evaporate before his face. There was someone else, a boy. Eritis's features soften. He was tired, scared, not at all like me. He came to this place, and when he fell asleep there, he never woke up. Sleep buried him, and he screamed. Still screams. Eritis's voice cracks again, and he swallows. I can hear it when all things are quiet. Who is that boy? What happened next? I mean, I know who the boy is, right? I think we all figured out who the boy is. What happened next? I don't remember, he screams. It was a nightmare, a stupid story, and nothing heroic happened. It was a waste of time, and I don't know why I remember. He presses the heels of his trembling hands against his eyes. Look inside the ebony box, because, of course, we will. There's no sign of what this empty box once held, but you do note a carving of an eye at the bottom of the box with a pupil made of 2 crimson concentric rings. If you squint, you can just make out a human figure at the center of the eye, holding a sword in the air. Eritis groans and you look over. An untroubled smile graces his face, but you notice that one of his eyes is watering. You can look away. Eritis, you alright? Yes, very, he says, nodding at you. A tear streaks down his narrow cheek and around his cheerful grin. But bored here, now that you ask. We should leave here. We should leave now. He whistles quietly to himself and looks away. Pick up the crook. Ah! You stretch out your hand to take the crook. Beside you, Eritis moans. A wave of pale fire explodes from the crook, and everything goes white. You hear a screaming, perhaps Eritis's, perhaps your own. Thunderous voices bellow beyond the hissing wail of that endless ivory wall. And something is rushing at you, something that you can't see. A new reflection is forming in the labyrinth. Because, of course, it is. A fistful of senses, emotions. Anytime someone has to divest themselves of voices, just come inside my head. That's exactly where all voices belong. A fistful of senses, emotions, memories, and fear strikes your mind, driving you back a step along the dusty floor of the alcove. Something has changed inside you, inside the labyrinth. You hear a voice in your mind, a voice very much like Eritis's, but small and afraid. You look over at him. Eritis is staring at the shelf, his hands slack at his side. The glow is nowhere to be seen, and he looks weathered, weary, old. You follow his gaze. The herder's crook is gone. What just happened? I went somewhere, he mumbles without looking at you. I stayed here in my amazing, heroic body, but I went somewhere else. Without looking at you, his hand lifts from his side and points at your forehead. He does not seem to be aware that his hand is doing this. Then his glow returns like the sun rising behind a hill and swallows him. He smiles, dropping his rebellious hand. Why are we standing here? Just standing here, he says, looking around. We should be fighting, feasting, jumping from roof to roof. Let's go find some roofs, he gasps. Is this a roof? What happened? The hero's companion took us to the alcove. We feel strange. We feel weaker. I'll look in the box again. It's the etched eye at the bottom with a tiny sword-waving figure at the center of a 2-ringed pupil. Alright. Something weird just happened. Lost Shepherd. Eritis has been acting strange ever since we entered the Valley of Dead Heroes. I need to figure out what's bothering him. After finding a herder's crook in the Valley of Dead Heroes, I heard Eritis' voice inside my head. Could Eritis have done something to me? Yes. He's fled into the labyrinth. Before we talk to this individual, who is standing not at all suspiciously amongst a couple of dead bodies, I think we're going to save the game. And, yeah, I think that's going to be it for this week. Yep. Post-Eritis, basically. Post-Eritis explosion. Back to the main menu we go. We shall find out who that is later. Alright. And back to me. Hello! Yes, yes. Yes, the new toy is working very nicely, I see. Thank you very much for watching. That was very cool. I think that what will be happening next, you see it just sort of, it's like side of the camera. I wonder if there's a way to widen this so that I can have arms again, because otherwise I do not. We'll figure that out. Anyway, in the meantime, this is interesting. I'm interested to keep exploring and find out what's going on, and to sort of see what the deal is with that person beckoning us over in a not at all creepy way. So that's going to be pretty cool. And continue exploring, trying to find the place where we need to go to get at the, yes, that haven for the Castoffs. See what's going on. So that'll be fun. What's happening? So this weekend, tomorrow morning, we are playing We Happy Few. Continuing on with that. I think we're getting closer now, as we're figuring stuff out. Gotta get a reporter's pass. I think that's what we're trying to aim for. Press pass. That's the word, Jim. Press pass. Sunday morning, we are starting a new retro game. I have decided that it is going to be Age of Mythology, the extended edition. I never got to finish Age of Mythology, the quest line, even just the main quest line. We're just going to do the main quest line for that one, and I'll see, like I kind of like going back and forth between adventure games and builder type games, and the thing being, I know that in this slot, when we were trying TV, the television station tycoon game, whose exact title, Empire TV Tycoon, that was its name. I felt after a couple of episodes that it was just sort of getting repetitive, at least as far as showing it to an audience would go. I think that it, I kept playing it after that off stream for a little while when I had time, which was not that often. And it was fun, but yeah, it's something that I can see. I couldn't really see being that interesting to viewers, so I went ahead and jumped to this. Now, where we're going to go next, in the retro slot, of course, is we're going to go to a game called Age of Mythology, a builder game, yes, of a sort, but one where it's real-time strategy. I like those. I do like those. I want to sort of, you do build things, but you also fight things, and there's a more specific storyline that happens because we're going to be following that. And so I think that'll be fun because I can't remember how far I got. It was in college for the third time trying that out, and ended up having to stop at some point because, various things happened in life. So I want to go back and see if I can pick it back up, see what happens. So we're doing that. Then, Sunday evening, Tabletop RPGs, we're doing a one-shot of Life on Mars. That's the second of the two, so the last one for this month, last one-shot. That, again, is a game about the First Man mission to Mars and what effects that mission has on the crew members. And so we'll be playing that. That'll be a lot of fun. And then, let's see, what else is happening in the coming week? Tuesday night, I'm going to be over on Off the Table playing in their Urban Shadows game. That's a lot of fun, and things are going to be sliding downhill pretty quickly, I think. It's very dramatic. Lots of pain, lots of suffering. And Wednesday, we are going to have the finale of the Dungeon World campaign that I've been running on this channel. That's been a lot of fun. It's, again, using the City of Pillars scenario from 20 Dungeon Starters. And so that's going to be fun. Just getting through that. They're going to actually get to the city, hopefully, this time. And then, 1 week from today, that Friday, we'll be back here. So, we'll continue then. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. It is much appreciated. Take care. And I will see you all of a sudden.